The following podcast is a W2M Network original production. Visit W2Mnet.com for all of our other great podcasts, plus news, reviews, articles, and opinions from the worlds of wrestling, video games, football, and entertainment.
And we are live for episode number 46 of MMA to the Max. I am your host, as always, Robert Taylor, and I am joined once again this week by my co-host, the always average, always disappointing, Joseph Hudson, aka Riverside Joe. How you doing this fine Thursday evening, Joe?
I was doing better. I was having a good day until this asshole co-host of mine decides to insult my abilities, my averageness, and me in general as a person. I'm a human being too, you know?
That is highly debatable. So we'll just go along with
fair
it
enough.
for now. Yeah, we'll go along with it for now. Anyways, man,
The science is still out.
How you been for the past week since we last spoke on the show? So,
I've been good. I've been digging myself out of the muck of good old smiling Sam Alvey. The look on his face when he asked me if I did jiu-jitsu, and I was like, oh no. Yeah, that was good. I was slightly embarrassed by that, but it's true. I do know jiu-jitsu.
And as somebody who's rolled with you, I can confirm this fact that he does do no jiu-jitsu at all.
That's right. This is 100% accurate. I'm a big heaping pile of goo.
That's right.
How about you, man?
I'm doing all right. My chair is super fucking squeaky right now, and it's driving me nuts. But I don't know if you can hear it, but I can hear it, and it's driving me nuts. But anyways, I'm doing all right. My shoulder's kind of jacked up. We were talking about it before the show. I work for Frito-Lay. For people that don't know, and that involves pulling a shit ton of heavy-ass carts with a ton of dip and shit on them, man. The dip. I'm talking about dip. That gets heavy, and after, my shoulder's all jacked up. It feels like it's going numb on the shoulder blade and shit. But other than that, I'm doing fantastic. Got Bellator tomorrow. I can't wait for that. That should be fun.
Yeah.
Before we jump into the thick of things and do what we normally do on this show, I want to give a quick special happy birthday shout-out to my good friend Josh Browder. I know he's watching. He's been a big fan and supporter of the show, so happy birthday to you, brother.
Happy birthday, Josh. Hats off to you, buddy.
Yep.
Way to live another year. You didn't die.
Way to take a good thing that I was doing and make it totally condescending.
What? That's not me. That's not me at all.
Anyways, we're live on YouTube once again.
Live.
Hoping the followers from Facebook kind of follow us over here, but until they do, it's whatever, man. Let's get into it. It's a new week. It's a new drink. That's how you do it. Joe, what are you drinking this week?
Today, I am going with something from across the pond to celebrate the football players there in England. Young's Double Chocolate
Soccer.
Stout right there. Football.
Soccer.
Football.
Soccer.
Football.
Soccer.
Football.
You live in America. You live in California. It's soccer.
It is soccer. It's fucking delicious too, though. By the way, it's always a good go-to. The Young's Chocolate Stout. It's good. It's easy to drink. It's fucking delicious.
Did you?
And you, sir?
I am drinking a Great Divide Brewing Company's vanilla oak aged Yeti Imperial Stout. I had their chocolate oak aged Yeti Imperial Stout before on a previous episode, and I was not a fan. I didn't get up for it. No, I didn't get up for it, but I was not a fan of it. So, yeah, I didn't pour it out. It wasn't like the clown shoes or the other one.
fucking clown shoes.
It's actually
man.
not bad. It's not great,
Good.
but it's not bad. I just don't think I care much for Great Divide's stouts or anything, man. It's just, I don't know. It's not, there's really no vanilla flavor.
It's supposed to be a vanilla stout with no vanilla flavor, huh?
Yeah, I mean, you go to other beers, other ones like Ballast Point Victory SC, which is a vanilla porter, and you definitely taste the vanilla in that. This one, I'm just not, I don't know, man. It's got a pretty bitter aftertaste. But, yeah, it's from Colorado, so probably high when they're making it. Who knows? I don't know.
Well, people in California are probably high when they're brewing beer, too, now.
That is true, except for the great people at Garage Brewing Company. So,
yeah, I haven't had anything from them that I don't like.
Speaking of soccer and beer, did you see that post about Bud Light, Budweiser, saying that if Mexico beats Brazil, they're going to help people basically celebrate by picking up the tab for beer? And
wow,
I know it's Bud Light, but I mean, if it doesn't matter what beer it is, if it's free, it's for me. So
yeah, I would have to have one just simply for the fact to say I partook in the free beer.
Yeah.
But look, to give we're talking beer for a little bit here, but to give a lot of shit to Budweiser and Bud Light and Coors Light, what they do isn't easy. It's not for me. I don't think it tastes good. But to consistently brew a beer over and over and over in that size volume that tastes the same everywhere you go, that's hard to do. I mean, it's a lot of water.
I was going to say it's not that hard to just put water through the system and have come back out water. So
yeah, but the truth is, what they brew is like a really heavy lager, and then they do exactly that. They water it down depending on how heavy this lager is compared to this batch. They blend it. I give them shit because to me it tastes like nothing. It's disgusting in my mind. It's like bum piss water. Like, it's gross. But it's hard to have a consistent, it's like the same bum pissing all across the world. So hats off to them for that.
I've got to go back and watch one of our previous shows because I know I made a wager about I would drink Bud Light for like a month. I don't remember what it was, but I know we talked about it. We got to go back and watch. I really should start taking notes.
Somebody should.
Well, this is self-produced, self-hosted, and all that good stuff. So, I mean, I don't have a producer like some of these better shows, or I should better known shows, but you know, we make do. Yeah, dude. Either way, let's talk about it real quick. UFC Fight Night.
Yes, sir.
Donald Cerrone versus Leon Edwards. I was actually surprised to see that Edwards was the favorite. I know at betting wise, I know Cerrone's a sentimental betting favorite for a lot of people, but Edwards did almost exactly what I thought he would do for the first 2 rounds.
Yes, he did a real good job. Cowboys notorious slow starter, blah blah blah, but Edwards looked great. His timing, his technique, he just was kind of piecing Cowboy up, stronger. Was able to work him in the clinch with the knee that busted him open. It was good. I thought he was going to finish him too, but
he came
Cowboy
close.
Looked pretty good himself.
He came close, and honestly, there might have been 1 or 2 times it probably could have been stopped. I mean, Cowboy wasn't really defending on a lot of when he was backed up against the fence and everything, but you know, you let somebody like Cowboy continue fighting, and it made for a hell of a fight in the end.
It was a great fight.
It was a damn great fight. I see in no way possible how anybody scores it for Cerrone, but there's been arguments out there that, you know, they scored it for Cerrone the last 3, and I'm stretching to even give him, 2. He gets takedowns, but he gets outstruck, and then he gets a takedown, does nothing with it. I don't care how long he's holding you down for, but I mean, Rocky, he made Cerrone look like a lightweight that didn't belong in there with him. I mean, aside from the 5th round, of course, but
yeah, no, Cerrone looked good in the 5th round. I gave him the 5th round. The 4th round was kind of close. 3rd round, 2 takedowns with nothing done, and he got pieced up a little bit more. He got outstruck. Yeah, with a takedown doesn't equal everything. If you take him down, you smash him for a couple minutes, sure, or you pass the guard and you go for submissions and you do something with it. But Cowboy just held him down and tried to work for position and wasn't able to get it. Edwards got back up and was outstriking him. So
yeah, and he looked great. I'm
real good.
It's really good to know that he can actually go the full 5 rounds because I mean he's looking at another main event for his next fight most likely. And he made his call out after the fight. Obviously he's been calling out Darren Till for the longest time, but he called out Jorge Masvidal this time, and it's a fight I'm damn sure dying to see right now.
That's a good fight. Thinking of someone for Masvidal to fight, that's perfect. That's perfect. They're going to match up really well. Masvidal is going to move forward. He's got great boxing. To see that boxing versus this Muay Thai striking, I think is going to be interesting. So,
yeah, and that's a fight that I think because he's got his wrestling behind him, I think I would favor Leon Edwards. But I mean, Masvidal, ever since he moved back up to 170, he's actually looked really, really good. Even against Wonder Boy, who he couldn't get on the inside of, he still looked good and hung with him.
Yeah, he's always going to be in there. He's never going to be out of a fight. But I just think that I don't know right now. I don't know how I would call it, who I would give it to, or who I say has the best potential to take that fight. But it's going to be fucking fireworks. Yeah.
My goatee hairs are going crooked for some reason. I have no idea. It's what you would call, I guess, a tickler. Trying to go for the suave swashbuckler, But anyways, that was just driving me nuts for some reason. I don't know why I even talked about it. Little
distracting you, man.
I've been up since 1 o'clock in the morning with this job, man. Fucking getting ready for the goddamn 4th of July holiday and everything, man. It's just been nuts. So,
I bet.
Bear with me, hang with me, man. We're gonna make a show out of this, and it might not be coherent by the end of it, but we're gonna do something. But
half of them aren't coherent by the end of them. So, what's the difference?
What'd you make of Cerrone trying to pull a Tim Kennedy there and grabbing the gloves to keep Leon Edwards in range? I wasn't a fan because I think Cerrone's above that.
I do too, and so I'd like to think that it was unintentional, but watching it back, it was somewhat intentional. Like, he was going to grab the wrist, his hand was sliding down, he grabbed it. I'm not happy about it, but shit happens. That's kind of the heat of the moment, a fight. But I did notice, I think it was like the 3rd or the 4th round, the referee was in there taking a peek when they were grappling, making sure both guys were staying clean on that. So
yeah, the ref wasn't going to take any shit. So
yeah,
I would have loved to have seen Goddard in there.
Oh yeah, he's the fucking best right now, man. Yeah. He's the best ref right now for sure.
He really is. He really is. I would love to get that guy on the show and talk to him. He really is the best. In the co-main event, Tyson Pedro blows a huge opportunity. To upset OSP. It wasn't going to be an upset in my mind. I had Pedro picked. But he catches Ovince St. Preux, knocks him down, and for some reason decides to just jump right in there.
Tries to grapple with him like I don't know, dude. Especially in the first round, St. Preux was so big, so strong. And obviously, he took him down, and I go, oh shit, here comes another St. Preux choke. But no, he managed to get it with an armbar, right?
That's what it was. Because I remember watching the fight, I was like, fuck. That's why I said, if he gets another St. Preux choke, I will drink Bud Light for a month on the show.
There it is.
And when I remember when I was watching the fight, I was like, when he went down there, I was like, fuck, don't do this, dude, no fucking way. And then it turned into like the straight armbar Kimura type.
Yeah, I was like straight armbar, arm, not legs on arm. Fucking dude, St. Preux is no joke, dude. Like, I always underestimate him, man. Every time I go to think, fuck him, he does something good. He's not a gatekeeper, but he's a perennial top 5 guy. Like, he's he's somebody that's pissing me the fuck off when it comes to my pick'ems. Because when I pick him, he doesn't win, and when I pick against him, he manages to win, and it's really driving me fucking nuts. Yeah, no shit. It's like the pick against me, and then you'll have winning fights. So pick against you and the St. Preux, and we'll have it fucking nailed. Yeah, the dude. I mean, Pedro blew that opportunity. He was outclassing him. He outclassed him on the feet. He should have. Should have backed away. Yeah, for sure. And he should have backed away, let him back up, and get it down. PJ Wendell of the Essential Guy Talk podcast. If you haven't checked that out, you guys should check it out. It's a great show. The dude's got a hell of a personality. He makes everything entertaining. Makes a good point that OSP. Yeah, right. Fuck yeah. He makes a good point that I mean OSP hung with John Jones for 5 rounds. I think that was more John Jones being lackadaisical and sluggish from the long layoff. Personally, yeah. Jones looked like shit, and Jones doesn't like taking last-minute replacements because he has a game plan going against a southpaw when it's supposed to be Cormier, who was a wrestler, orthodox. All those excuses to me were legit. Yeah. But, I mean, that doesn't take away from OSP. OSP still
a hell of a talent. I think he's a gatekeeper to the top 5 personally.
To the top 5, okay.
And maybe. I'm totally down with. Fuck, I don't even know. I guess the OSP Jimmy Manawa rematch. I mean, at this point, what else is there to lose?
Some teeth.
I mean, unless you want to. I mean, OSP versus Volkan Ozdemir rematch. That was a close fight that could have gone either way. So
yeah, that was a good fight.
I mean, might as well. I mean, I think it would be a shame for somebody like OSP to have all these finishes in the UFC and not even get his chance at a legit title shot, not the interim title. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's a shallow division, so he's always going to be right in the game with a couple 2-3 wins, and he's got a title shot. So give him somebody else who's up there. Give him Gustafsson.
It's a fresh fight. I'm down with that too. I mean, Gus might want to wait on the winner of, wait on see what happens with Cormier and Miocic. He might want to see what happens there first, because I'm pretty sure if Cormier wins that fight, which I'm picking him to do, he's retiring. So
I hope so.
Well, no, because he wants that Brock Lesnar fight just for the money. But either way,
interesting though, man. That would be interesting.
I'd love to see Cormier and Brock.
Oh, dude. Talk about David versus Goliath, man. Fucking Brock is a giant silverback gorilla. DC is like 5'9".
DC,
it's like, dude.
DC mauls him.
I believe it. DC's a far better fighter. I think he's probably even a better wrestler. He's just smaller.
Well, he's by far the better wrestler. Yeah, he's going to be smaller, but yeah, I mean, DC was an Olympic alternate. Brock Lesnar probably could have been, but you know,
he tried to go to the NFL or something. Had a cup of tea.
Well, he went to the WWF first, so.
He did that before he tried out football?
Well, no, he did that before he tried out for football, yeah.
Okay. I don't follow the career that closely.
Yeah, I was a big fan. It's whatever. Yeah. In women's flyweight action, making it 2-0 since her return to the flyweight division, Jessica Ai defeats Jessica Rose Clark. Unanimous decision. Scoring was right. I mean, it was an uneventful fight, honestly. I mean, Jessica Ai's talking acting like she's a world beater, and she's just, the top of the class, the cream of the crop in the division, and she's won both fights by decision, and they were close fights, and her last one was a split decision, and so now most of her experience and her victories have come in the flyweight division. She bumped up to join the UFC in the bantamweight division, had no success for the most part. He had no success ever since her win over Sarah Kaufman was overturned for marijuana. Yep. Damn it.
Quit smoking that weed, evil eye. Weed for the evil eye.
Yeah, I mean, ever since then, it went downhill. But, 2-0 in the flyweight division, and that is a brand new division in the UFC. Although we do call it the, bullet division. I see Jessica getting a title shot against Valentina.
Sure, after Valentina wins the belt against Nico,
well, that's just a foregone.
Next in line.
Yeah, it's just a foregone conclusion.
The second best female fighter in women's 125 is also Valentina Shevchenko's sister.
Did you catch that? Did you catch Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series?
Yeah.
She looks really good.
Really good.
Her striking might be better than Bullet's. Honestly, it
might be a little crisper. Yeah,
I think Bullet.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, I think Bullet might have it better applied for MMA, but
correct. Her grappling is, I think, a little stronger. Her wrestling on the ground, I think, is a little stronger for Valentina.
Yeah, Valentina's fucking grappling in MMA is so underappreciated and underrated. But
getting Pena in an armbar, no one expected that to happen.
Well, just the way she was able to trick Pena into moving the way she wanted to get the trips and the throws on her. That's just that's high level right there. That is high level.
I was watching that fight like, Valentina, you don't want to do that. You want to stand up. You want to stand. What do you do? Oh, that's what you're doing. Good job. Well done. You obviously know better than me.
Well done.
That was awesome.
I'm surprised you didn't follow the well done with a hats off to ya. Yeah, I'm making fun of you a little bit. No, it's funny. It's cool.
It's okay. I could take it.
I could take it. When you say you're going to break something, you break it. Damn, I can break
it.
But yeah, I mean, I thought Jessica Rose Clark was going to win this fight. I wasn't 100% sure on it. I just have an issue with Jessica Ai just because of her post-fight interviews. They're just so cringe. They're absolutely horrible. And somebody needs to definitely either get her a speech therapist or just take mics away from her.
What are you gonna do, dude?
Did you get lost? You get distracted? You didn't even hear what I said, did you? You got distracted, huh?
No, I got distracted. I was trying to read what Central Guy Talk was saying, and I missed it. I can't multitask like you can.
Fucking horrible, man.
Horrible.
And this is why I'm the host and you're not.
I've never questioned that. Have I ever once brought that up, sir? No. Sir. I know my role.
Opening up the main card, even though this entire event was on Fight Pass, Ling Jinling defeating Daiichi Abe. I think I got that right. I can never...
Abe.
Yeah, Abe. Yeah. Sorry. By unanimous decision, it was pretty much the entire Leech show here. Abe hung in there, looked tough, but took a beating. And, hey, you know what? The Leech managed to get through this one without eye gouging anybody, so... You know.
I know. Hats off to him for that.
Yeah.
He didn't almost get caught in a choke and eye gouge his way out of it. I had Abe in this one via decision. I thought that he would be able to keep the fight where he wanted to. I just hate eye gougers. I got to get over that shit, dude. The Leech is obviously the better fighter going into the fight, but I just couldn't pick him. I just couldn't pick him after those eye gouges, man.
And this is why you're not even close to being placed for money in the Pick'em League.
That's what my wife's there for, buddy. She's the one that brings home the bacon.
Oh man, I should have made this winner take all this year because I'm about to run away with this shit. I'm still 4,000 above second, so
I know I'm in sixth now, buddy. I'm making a move up. I was all the way down in 11th before, so so you know, buddy, I'm moving on up to the east side. You know, the Jeffersons.
Yeah, I know.
A piece of the pie.
I know. I just wish that didn't just happen.
Oh, it did. Be careful, it might happen again, son.
Anyways,
alrighty
moving
then.
on.
Not up, but moving down the card, or however you want to go.
Yeah,
from there.
Either way, they're all in Fight Pass. Peter Yan making his long-awaited, anticipated debut in the UFC and looked every bit as good as he was hyped up to be. Absolutely.
Yep.
Demolishing Ishihara. He of alpha male, just want to, hang out and fuck bitches fame. And apparently he's just getting in the way of training because he has not looked good. And I didn't expect him to look good against Yan, but, I mean, damn.
I didn't expect him to look that bad. He got pieced apart, dude.
Dude, yeah, he's a beast. He's a beast.
Yan is good, but, I mean, he just walked right through everything Ishihara had to throw at him, whatever spin was going his way, whatever he was trying to do with his karate style, move in and out. Yan had his timing down, was inside anytime he tried to move in. He beat the brakes off him. Ishihara, it was a pleasure watching you fight in the UFC. I think you're one bound.
Yeah. He's going to be cutting it out.
Oh, shit.
Trademark.
That was worse than Mike Jefferson's moving on out.
Yeah, trademark
Really?
Joey Gladstone. That's right. Bringing it back.
Uncle Joey, what are you doing, Uncle
Joey?
Yeah,
but at least mine's more topical because Fuller House is still existing on Netflix. So
the fact that you know that and watch that is sad.
Have you seen how Stephanie looks now? Jodie Sweetin?
No.
Yeah, that's all the reason you need to watch that show. So.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, that's
just
it.
Watch
man.
it with the sound off.
That's it, pretty much. Just watch it. But we mentioned him. We talked about the fight earlier, the eye gouge and everything. But farther down the card, you had Jake Matthews, who continues his unbeaten run at welterweight.
Yes.
Basically choking out Shinzo Enzai. So he just looks amazing at welterweight, dude. He looks way better than he did at 155, and he's another one of those fighters showing that you don't need these hard weight cuts to be a top fighter. You just let your talent and your work speak for itself. But he's now 3-0.
I think slowly but surely that's going to start to be the norm because those guys are going into the fight. They're having better cardio. They feel better. The whole fight week feels better. When they get inside the octagon, they move. But it's the same thing that Sam was saying last week, It's just, you feel better during the fight week. Your mental state is better as you go into the fight. I think that helps a lot instead of being drugged down and pissed off. And as long as you can maintain your focus in training, I know a lot of guys have said, like when they move up to heavyweight, or move up weight classes, that they're not eating the same. There's not as strict. So that I think that was one of the excuses that McGregor made when first fighting against Diaz.
Yeah.
But it makes sense, you know what I mean? You're used to that routine. But I think Jake Matthews is a hard enough grinder where he's going to take it serious every time. He needs to stay at 170 and keep doing what he's doing.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Great.
I think he looks great. I think everything's working out for him. You know, and the UFC is kind of working it correctly, kind of to move him along slowly. I mean, 3-0, but in the UFC welterweight division, it's not, you know, it's working out for him not too well. We're having some video output issues that I'm seeing according to YouTube. Yeah,
it's looking good on my end.
YouTube. So we'll see if it catches up. But just want to put that out there. I'm being told by YouTube Live that we're having video output is low, so we'll see what happens.
So I wonder if that's causing a delay between the audio and video or something, because the video's streaming through just fine. I keep it up just to make sure it goes through well.
No, that's fine. That's fine. You're probably one of...
Yeah, no, the UFC's doing the right thing. The UFC's doing the right thing with Matthews. They're taking it slowly with him, as they should. He's young, right? He's in his mid-20s still.
Yeah, he's still young. Nice Australian boy. So, you know...
Yeah.
I'm sure they want to capitalize on like another type of Robert Whittaker star, so we'll see what happens.
And they brought Whittaker up right too, so yeah, keep moving. Let's go, Jake. Let's go.
That is true. I wonder why we're having such video output issues. Maybe because maybe it's just OBS. Maybe OBS is a piece of shit. I know Craft Brewed Sports. If anybody doesn't watch, they have issues with it as well. So Keith Schillen, hey, Keith Schillen is here on YouTube watching us. So
what's up, buddy?
Thanks for joining, Keith. And he says it's working fine now.
Cool.
Yeah, awesome. So before we get into some MMA news, some preview of the next show,
say what?
Want to take a minute to talk about our sponsors.
We have them.
We have a couple of them. It's pretty cool. It's pretty awesome. First one, GameFly. If you're a gamer like I am, or if you just want to get back into gaming, GameFly is the best choice you can make. You can rent any game you want for any console you want, either 1 game, 2 games, 3 games, whatever. They have different types of packages for whatever you want. You play it as much as you want for as long as you want. You return it when you're done. And for listeners of MMA to the Max,
yes,
you're getting this pretty kick-ass offer. If you use the link of www.gameflyoffer.com/MMA to the Max,
what do you get?
You get a free 30-day trial with GameFly.
Free?
That's pretty fucking awesome. Yeah.
Come on, guys. It's free.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm not going to lie, it's going to put a little money in our pockets to help, make these shirts so we can get them out to you guys and might, a little
help
sooner.
Promote the show.
Help promote the show a little bit. But beyond that, you get to play pretty kick-ass video games. Hell, you're an MMA fan? UFC 3's on there for any console you want.
Boom.
Except for the Switch, because Nintendo was super late. So, I mean, yeah, check it out. GameFly is awesome. I am a GameFly subscriber. I use it all the time. It's great. If you have a new game coming out, you're not sure about it, don't pay $60 for it. Get it on GameFly. Check it out before you even think about buying it. Play it for a day. I'm going to buy this shit. Send it back. Go out and buy it. Bam.
Yeah, if you're like me, you play it until you beat the game, and then you never play it again, then just give it back. You don't have to worry about spending $60-$70 on a game that you're going to play for a month and then be done with it. So
pretty much.
It's all about it, man.
Or you get shitty-ass games like The Order 1887 that is only like 8 hours fucking long.
Exactly.
You don't want to spend $60 for an 8-hour game. That's ridiculous. So, yeah, check out GameFly,
right.
man. I spent $7 on that on a flash sale online, and I still think I overpaid for that piece of shit game.
Yeah.
But yeah, so check out GameFly. Yeah, right? So, yeah, check out GameFly. Also, check out LootCrate.com. Loot Crate is a subscription box service. It's basically the first. It is the first. For movies, video games, comic books, you name it. Every month, on pretty much around the same time, same delivery day, you're going to get a box showing right up on your doorstep that's filled with a whole bunch of goodies. And every month, every single box comes with a new t-shirt. I use it. I love it. And I look forward to it every month. They even send you tracking information, so you know when that shit's showing up. It's awesome. And
Robert would have no wardrobe if it were not for Loot Crate. Let's just be honest here.
If I took this camera and I went to my closet right now, I would show you my wardrobe exists almost completely and 100% of Loot Crate shirts. It's pretty awesome. Sometimes the sizes are a little off, and I just give them to my fiance or give them to my daughter. So it works out for us. Anyways, for our listeners, we got a sweet deal for you. Get a new subscription at www.trylootcrate.com/MMA to the max. Use the promo code BRIDGE10. You will get 10% savings on a new subscription. How badass is that? 10%. I mean, it's basically like, it's like $25 a month. So, I mean, $2.50, that's $2.50 you weren't going to have. So
that's a Bud Light you could buy.
Not if Mexico beats Brazil.
Nope. You get them for free.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Best of luck on that. Mexico. Brazil's badass. Badass.
Keisha wants to know how he gets the MMA takeover shirts in a Loot Crate box.
Don't know how to do that yet. We're working on it.
Yeah, we'll keep that in mind.
Just for you, buddy. Just for you.
So we just lost a main event, by the way.
We did,
and it was a fight I was looking forward to. Ally Quinta and Justin Gaethje. Quinta pulls out. We don't know if he's injured or what. I think it's because he just wants to say "fuck you" to the UFC for the most part.
That's likely. It's
a fight in Nebraska. Who wants to go to Nebraska?
Not even Nebraskians want to go to Nebraska.
Not even Cornhuskers want to go. So, I think that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yes, Nebraska Cornhuskers. That is correct, sir.
Yeah. Hey, look at me. We need
college football.
We need to get Eric Anders back on. But yeah, so yeah, he pulled out, and who steps in? James Vick.
Boom! That's a good fight,
and this makes this a super intriguing fight. More so than the Quinta fight, because I thought that would just be a barn burner. But this one's going to be super intriguing because, from what I've seen of Vick, he does not handle pressure very well. And if Gaethje's able to get on the inside of him, he could crack him the same way Dariush did. But Vick can stay on the outside with that reach and that height and pick Justin apart.
If he can use lateral movement, because Justin's still going to walk forward. If he can use his lateral movement and he can keep his hands flying, then he can do it. So, but it's intriguing because Vick has been talking about, I need a top 10 fight. I need to be up here. And he does need to be up there. He belongs.
He's on a 7 fight win streak, give or take.
Yeah, he belongs in the conversation. And I think if he beats what has now become the WSOF UFC lightweight gatekeeper, then he proves he deserves to be there. So I don't know who I'm picking in that fight just yet. I'm leaning towards Gaethje. I believe he's going to be able to get inside and land one of those haymakers. But
I always pick Gaethje. I just have a hard time picking against Gaethje. And here's the funny thing about Gaethje is, even if he loses his fight, makes it 3 in a row, and he gets TKO'd or whatever, knocked out, either way, he's not getting cut.
Fuck no, he's not.
He'll lose. He can lose the next one. I think Gaethje is one of those fighters that can lose 6, 7 in a row and still not get cut because of the excitement he brings.
Diego Sanchez.
Yeah.
Diego Sanchez always made it an exciting fight. He would lose fights, get cut up, get bloody, whatever. It didn't matter. Change weight divisions, move around, do whatever he wanted because he brought the fight. He always had an exciting fight.
I should, by the way, update on the beer that the vanilla flavor is definitely coming through, by the way. It takes a while. I guess the flavor takes a while to cascade up. I mean, it was cascading for a long time, but I mean, it's still cascading on this pour that I just did. Yeah, I mean, it's a hell of a cascader there, and I think the flavor's definitely. So
maybe it's got to like aerate a little bit, get that cascade to open it up some.
Yeah,
that's good.
Hey, people, Cascade is not just for the dishwasher anymore. So,
did they still make that for the dishwasher?
I don't fucking know. I have no idea what I'm talking about half the time on this show, man. I just keep mumbling and going on and just talking shit.
Thank God somebody does. Oh wait, I don't know what I'm talking about. Fuck, we're screwed.
Yeah, as was
pointed out by Sam Alvey last week. That shit was so funny to me.
Damn, I was so upset about the video quality on that episode, but it's whatever. I mean, it happens. You know, it happens to the best of us, and it's whatever. So
it does.
Rashad Evans retired. I mean,
I'm happy with that decision.
Unsurprisingly, it probably should have happened a long time ago. Okay. I mean, he lost 6 in a row. I think he's 1-6 since his last win was Chael Sonnen. like 5 years ago.
Since his return, he's looked horrible. He looks like a fighter from the old generation trying to keep up with the new kids. He just can't. It's unfortunate. He was one of the greatest fighters in the UFC. Knocked out Chuck Liddell, devastatingly beat the brakes off Boris Griffin to win the belt.
Oh yeah. He's definitely. I mean, to me, he's Hall of Fame. He's heading to the Hall of Fame. I mean, there's not even a question about it. And I go on record. I know somebody else posted about this in some groups, and it's something I had always maintained in my head, and always thought that if he had dropped down to 185 sooner, he could have given Silva a run for his money. Just the talent and the skill that he had in his run.
Oh yeah.
That if he dropped as soon as he lost to Machida, if he would have dropped down, we could have been talking about some interesting shit.
Yeah, but I don't know what would have happened after lost to Machida. He was such a confidence-based fighter, and after that KO, it seemed like it kind of snatched his soul a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
It was tough for him to come back. If he still had that confidence he had before the KO, where he would just move forward, pick him up, and smash him, that Rashad was a beast. It was unbeatable until Machida figured out how to keep him in range.
Yeah,
and that was kind of the end of it.
Speaking of Rashad and losing the title, Machida signed with Bellator. I don't know if we talked about that last week. I think that came out after our show.
I think it came out Friday or the evening after our show.
That's a sick ass get for Bellator. I mean, Bellator's coming up. I think, Machida's he's always going to use some sort of TRT or anything down there since they don't have USADA, I think, and he's going to look good. And it's another name for Bellator. Bellator,
Yeah, they're acquiring these free agents, and I think they're getting the right ones. I mean, no offense to Phil Brooks, but he became a free agent again, and they didn't pick him up.
Did you say Phil Brooks?
Did I say Phil Brooks?
You said Phil Brooks. That's CM Punk, by the way.
I only know him as Mr. Punk.
And actually, I would not be surprised if Bellator does pick up CM Punk.
They're not cutting CM Punk.
They are. They're not going to. He's not fighting again. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think Scott Coker should pick him up. I really do.
Well, yeah, because they can get amateur caliber fighters. Look, that's the problem with CM Punk. He's an amateur. He doesn't belong wearing the UFC gloves and inside that octagon. Heart, whatever, toughness, whatever, that's all fine. He doesn't deserve to be in that octagon. He doesn't. He couldn't make it through a season of Tough. He couldn't make it through a fight on Dana White's Contender Series. He couldn't beat amateurs right now. I mean...
Yeah, no, I agree. Rafael Shadez of the Full Hill podcast, who guest hosted this show with me recently, made mention about Machida better go to 205 because he doesn't want any part of Mousasi. Speaking of, he just segued this for us. Bellator announced the Mousasi and McDonald super fight.
McDonald to be the first 2-division champ in Bellator.
You're picking Rory.
That's how I see that going down. Yeah. Yeah, I do. I have to pick Rory.
Wait. First 2-division champ or 2-division champ at the same time? Because the first person to win 2 titles in 2 different weight classes was the baddest man on the planet, Mr. Joe Warren.
Correct. Sorry. You're right. I stand corrected.
Yeah.
The first champ.
First, yeah, okay. So the first simultaneous champ.
Simultaneous. Yes,
yeah, Mousasi has been prone to takedowns. His takedown defense has not been great his entire career, and yeah, I can see Rory using it. Whether or not Rory decides to use it, or if he tries to do what he did against Robbie Lawler and just strike, which turned into like probably one of the best fights I've ever seen, if not the best, next to Shogun and Henderson won. But yeah, I'm down for it, man. I'm ready.
Yeah, I think Rory, his timing on his entries, his double legs, his trip on the double legs, he's got some of the best. The best of the Bellator's 170 division. That's what he used to sneak by a decision past Lama. I think he does the same thing to Mousasi. I don't think he beats him up, but I think he outfights him, out fight IQs him, and wins a decision.
I could also see Mousasi just lighting him up on the feet. So we'll see what happens. But on the same card, they also announced 2 very big, well, not very big matches, fights or anything, but 2 very big deals. One, Rampage versus the Axe Murderer, Part 4.
Part 16? 18?
And, yeah, right. I don't see... Keith said Dan Henderson was a double champ before Joe Warren. We were strictly speaking about Bellator. We know
Yes.
Dan Henderson and Pride. Yeah, sorry. That probably should have been more clear on that. So
No, I was, goddammit. I said the first Bellator 2-division champ. That's what I fucking said, man. Come on my show and correct me.
No. Keith's a supporter. You don't yell at Keith. Keith is the one that hooked me up with the media credentials to Bellator tomorrow. What?
I don't know Keith personally, but I love him. He's always been a supporter, always on there.
Yeah.
I think he gets me by now. Ain't that right, sweetheart?
Well, if he does, he definitely doesn't like you.
No, nobody does. I'm aware of that.
Once they get you, they don't like you. Unlike me, where they don't like me at first, and then they start to like me once they get me. So,
and then once they
we're
get
the
you,
opposite.
they realize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, they Rampage, Vanderlei Silva, Part 4. I'm pretty sure this is going to have to happen at heavyweight because Rampage is not even getting close to 205 again.
No.
Although I think Rampage wins this fight. I really do. So, I just...
Yeah, we'll see. They're going to be two guys just standing there slugging it out and running out of steam.
Do we even give a fuck? I called it two big deals when I was talking about it, but do we even give a fuck? I don't give a shit about that match. I just used it because I thought maybe some people out there might have given a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
I'm going to watch it.
I will too, because it also has the Bellator welterweight tournament starting. The welterweight Grand Prix.
I like their Grand Prix. I like how they're bringing that back. They're creating a storyline where there isn't one. With guys that can't talk the mic or build the hype, they're creating storylines with these tournament style. I like it. It's a call back to the old Bjorn Remney.
Yeah, besides that, the Grand Prix was some of the best times during Pride for me when watching Pride. The Grand Prix were always some of the best, and the fact that Bellator is using them now, Strikeforce did before, obviously with the heavyweight Grand Prix, they tried to bring it back. It's Coker thing. He's a big fan, but I love this welterweight tourney idea, especially because Rory, after his fight that night, is entering the tournament. Like his match will be later, but I mean, am I the only one hoping for MVP to make it to the finals?
Why wouldn't you? He's one of the most exciting fighters in MMA, especially the 170 division of Bellator. Of course.
I know he's considered the can crusher and all that, but man, I honestly think MVP beats Daly. I think they're going to match him up in the first round. I just think MVP striking's notches above Daly, even though Daly's a legit striker.
It's just different.
Yeah, it's different. I think MVP just makes a statement on Daly. I really do. It's where we start getting to this, some of the grappling that things start changing. But I'm hoping MVP...
neither of them can grapple.
No. Like later on in the fight, in the tournament, I should say. So I'm hoping, I'm hoping that MVP makes it to the final as MVP versus Rory McDonald. Why? Because that's an intriguing fight to me. Because
it's a very intriguing fight.
When you have somebody that can fight in range like MVP does, it confuses somebody like Rory McDonald. We saw that in the Wonder Boy fight. And I know Wonder Boy is a world-class kickboxer, but you know what? MVP is right up there when it comes to striking.
MVP's he's a karate striker, so he doesn't have the same kickboxing accolades or whatnot. But it's an intriguing fight again because I was thinking the same thing with Wonder Boy. Rory wasn't able or wasn't willing to get inside on Wonder Boy. So let's see. He's definitely gone back more to his wrestling style, and that's a good thing. I'm just trying to think of how does he get inside on MVP. MVP is lateral movement is so good. They're inside a big Bellator cage, no corners. How is he going to do that and not get pieced up? But if anyone can find a way, it's Rory McDonald.
Yeah, I mean,
find a way. So,
dude, I mean, even then though, man, you got Douglas Lima, who's still one of the best welterweights out there. You got Andrei Korshkov, who's also one of the best. I mean, this is. Unlike this heavyweight Grand Prix that's going on in Bellator right now, the welterweight is just full of killers right now, man. And they haven't even announced the full field yet. You still have Lorenz Larkin in Bellator.
I know.
You have the up-and-coming Ed Ruth. So, 5-0, that could get thrown in there. I mean, this is absolutely nuts what they can do with this division. And you know what? How awesome would this be? Let me throw this out there for you as I'm trying to monitor this YouTube bullshit. Get ready to catch this. Making his return to Bellator to conquer the welterweight Grand Prix. Funky Ben Askren.
Is this just like your hopes and dreams?
Yeah, I'm throwing this out there. Like, imagine.
I would pick him to be the favorite to walk away with the belt.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I would pick Funky. Oh, yeah. Oh, man, imagine. I just think Ben Askren needs to be back fighting for a major promotion in the States. So.
Yeah, but is he still under contract with one? I think he's got 2 fights left with them or something.
ONE FC is super cool, man. I mean, Rich Franklin is their like vice president or one of the top executives in the company, but he's still under contract with the UFC. They have a good working relationship. You know, Rich asked Dana for permission, and he's cool with it. But I think they'll be cool with Ben
UFC.
doing it. I know, but I don't think they'll have a problem with Ben doing it.
Yeah.
So, but just imagine, man. I'm stoked.
I think it would be interesting. I'm happy about it. Again, I like it creating a storyline. I don't want to say artificially creates one, but it creates one, you know, and that's exactly what they need. Now you have a reason to follow each fight. It's like, okay, your call out is automatically there. You win the fight. It's like, okay, I know, hey, next up, you or you, whoever you win, I'm going to get you. I'm going to smack. You know what I mean? It creates that where these guys don't have that ability. And it creates, I think, if it gets out to the casuals, it gives them a reason to follow every week. You make the tournament big enough, you can carry it through a year. And again, that was what Bjorn Rebney was kind of trying to do and failed at it a little bit. But it's these Grand Prix.
Bjorn Rebney's idea was that you have to earn your title shot through the tournaments, right? And it's a good idea in theory, but when the same number 2 continuously enters the tournament, he's going to continuously win. Then you just start getting in all these rematches. That's why it didn't work. It was a good idea in theory and in concept, but eventually it just doesn't work. Because when Eddie Alvarez is the lightweight champion, you know, let's just throw down, you know, and then let's just say, okay, Michael Chandler is the lightweight champion. Eddie Alvarez is in the tournament. He keeps winning the tournament, losing to Michael Chandler. Next year, he enters the tournament, loses to Michael. I mean, it gets boring. So I see why they got away from it, and I think that's why the Grand Prix works the best.
Correct, and it puts your champ on the back burner until the tournament's over.
Exactly, and that's not something you want to do.
No, so I like the idea of a Grand Prix. Everyone's climbing to the top for the belt, and you can do that, and you seed it and everything else. And next year, if you did the same thing, or you don't have to, you know, you can still have welterweight fights that don't count towards it, but are just guys, you know. I'm still trying to figure out the point system with the whole tournament over there at PFL. That's something I'm curious about too.
I think Keith for MMA Takeover has been covering that, so I'm pretty sure he would be able to explain in the comments once he hears your thing, once it catches up. Yeah, he would actually understand the point system a lot better than either of us will. It's glad to see Will Brooks get in the win column again. All-Star Doug T. That's my brother Doug.
What about
he's
Jason
meeting Kevin
Pye
Lee next week.
Back to his old ways.
So.
Oh, you guys going on a date?
Oh, he's meeting Kevin Lee next week. Yeah.
Yeah. You gonna hold his hand, Alan? You gonna give him a big old hug?
No, it's Doug, not Alan. Come on, get it right.
Oh, I just see the A. All-Star Doug. Whatever. Doug suck.
Yeah. But anyways, that's the Bellator welterweight tournament. Awesome news. Nothing big on Connor, so we don't have to talk about that. Yes, I'm looking for Connor news.
You bring him up.
I know. I'm looking for Connor news because that's going to give us views. So.
Oh, we talked about Conor McGregor. And John Kavanaugh says that he believes the next fight for McGregor should be the trilogy with Diaz.
And Khabib's manager says that he's confident that the next fight will be Khabib versus Conor.
Who's Khabib's manager?
I can't remember how to pronounce his name. Ali blah blah blah.
Lee, say whatever the fuck I have to get my fighters a fight, which is all.
Either way, that should be the next fight for both fighters because it's the former lightweight champion that was stripped, never lost the title, even though he never defended it, versus the...
Yep. Or defended it. You can't forget that part.
Yeah, versus the current champion who was the uncrowned champ from the very beginning in the first place. Dude, you being on your phone is right in the view of the camera.
I was trying to read what Keith was saying so I could read what the fuck is going on with that PFL tournament. Thank you, Keith. It makes sense.
Keith, okay, so we'll let everybody know that's listening to audio. Keith, thank you for that. PFL is 3 points for a win. Bonus points for stoppages, 3 points first round, 2 points second round, 1 point in the third round. The top 8 in weight classes after 2 regular season fights make the playoffs. Awesome, Keith. Thank you. Great coverage.
And then,
Check out his coverage at
believe
MMAtakeover.com. So
are the playoffs also point based, but I believe the playoffs are then like a single elimination?
Yeah, I think that's a tournament at that point.
Yeah,
so
that's kind of what I thought it was.
Yeah.
But no,
Joshua Baratter says, "I'd love to see Conor Khabib fight. Wouldn't we all?" But unfortunately, Conor is not coming back. I don't think he's coming back. I still stand by that.
A month of Bud Light if he does come back this year?
No, I already made that bet. We'll do a week, like one episode.
A week?
One episode. One episode. We'll do I'll do Bud Light as my beer of the week.
All right. Conor comes back in 2018. We have 5 more months.
Yeah, it has to happen in 2018.
Yeah.
We'll
Okay.
start another bet in 2009. Keith says playoffs are seeded based on points. So the points is how they're seeded, and then from there it becomes
Single elimination. tournament.
elimination. And my brother says, Joe, your ceiling fan is giving people epilepsy. I just now noticed it right now.
I didn't notice it either. If I turn it off, I start sweating profusely.
It happens, brother. It happens, brother. But hey, you know what? You know what's going down tomorrow night?
What?
Bellator 201.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Who's going to be at Bellator 201?
Well, I know the champ, Alima McFarlane, is going to be defending her women's flyweight championship in the main event against Alejandra Lara. 7-0 McFarlane, 7-1 Lara, 6-0 in Bellator McFarlane. 7 wins, 0 losses, 6 wins in Bellator. That's crazy. And Alejandra Lara, 1 win in Bellator. She kind of was pushed to it, kind of lack of challengers at that point. But who's going to Bellator too? I am. Thanks to, once again, I can't praise this man enough, the great Keith Schillen of the MMAtakeover.com hooked me up with media pass credentials to Bellator. I will be there live tomorrow, trying my best to do a live recap of the show while not trying to geek out too much while watching the fights and like, oh, I might.
You got to be
too
professional, bro.
I'm gonna try my best. But I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the fight, so we'll see.
Do you own a collared shirt?
Oh, you've seen me suited up before, man. Come on, you've seen me looking good. You've seen me looking good. But yeah, so McFarlane's defending her title. I think the champ retains. I think it's way too early for Lara. Even though I'm covering it, I probably shouldn't say it. Make these predictions because it might cause biasness. But nobody at Bellator is even watching or gives a shit. So in the co-main event, though, the Ryan Couture. Yes.
Hey, wait.
of
that
Randy,
last name is really familiar to me.
Of Randy Couture bloodline. Surprisingly, his record's still at a respectable 11-5 because the kid is just not that good. I mean, he's definitely not his dad, but he's taking on Sadawad, and I got Awad in this fight. I really do. I think Awad finishes him. I think he finishes him in the first, and I think Couture is just. I don't know if it's the pressure. He's got the talent. He's got the raw physical skills, but I don't know if the pressure of who his dad is got to him.
I don't know what it is. He doesn't seem to put it together regularly. It's got to be a mental thing if he comes into the fight with the right mental state or not. Saeed is fucking good. Like 22-9. It's not the. It's a tiny bit of a salty record. He hasn't fought a ton of badass mofos, but
I mean, he's good.
I love you, Randy, but Ryan, I don't think you're doing it though. I don't think you're getting it done.
Awad has fought a who's who in Bellator, dude, in the Bellator lightweight division. I mean, he's been in Bellator for a very long time. Very long time.
He's lost to Brandon Ward, Derek Anderson, Patricky Pitbull. These are losses that he's had. He beat Evangelista Cyborg, but that was before his skull got busted.
Here's one for you though. Trivia question time. Who's the first person to defeat Will Brooks? And up until he got to the UFC, the only person to defeat Will Brooks.
Sadawad.
That's right. He finished Will Brooks in the first round in real quick fashion. And
43 seconds.
Yeah, so I mean, he's got skills, but obviously he lost the rematch. But I mean, he's fallen off recently. So
He's fought a couple of fighters, and he's won his last 3. But any guy that, say named fighter, a known fighter, fighter with some clout, he tends not to do so well anymore.
He's the consummate journeyman. He really is.
Yeah,
I mean, he'll
is fine.
He'll beat an elite fighter, the name every once in a while, but he's just the journeyman. He's like a Cyborg Santos, the male version, the one that's like clinically brain dead from MVP. But
or the one that he beat back in 2016, Evangelista Cyborg
in Strikeforce, right? Was it in Bellator?
No, I believe that was in Bellator.
Oh, 2016. Sorry, yeah, in Bellator.
2016.
Yeah, that Evangelista. But yeah, I mean, he's that type of guy. He's the consummate journeyman. He's kind of like Jeremy Horn has been for his entire career for the most part. He beat Chuck Liddell, then he continues the journey on. It's just what it is. There's nothing wrong with that. You make good money, so it happens. But
gets to fight for a living, so that's good.
Also in women's flyweight division action in Bellator on this card, on the main card, and possibly the next title challenger, the winner of this fight, Valerie Latorno. Mm-hmm. Yes, Valerie Latorno, formerly of the UFC. She's going for second fight in Bellator now, taking on the 2-0 Christina Williams.
Good fight. I think everyone's underestimating Christina Williams in this fight.
I think they are as well, but I still think Latorno takes this fight, and I think that's what Coker's wanting.
I do too. He wants Latorno's name up there, and he wants her fighting. But look, he also wanted Heather Heat to be someone he could build a name off of, and Christina came in and beat the brakes off of her.
Oh, she beat the hell out of Hardy.
Beat the living turd out of that girl. It was a beautiful fight.
Can we segue into other MMA debuts real quick? Can we talk about Kayla Harrison? For fucking Christ's sake, Jesus Christ, that woman in PFL.
That armbar?
Not just the armbar, just everything. She's taken to the sport like better than Rousey, and obviously she was a better talent than Rousey because she actually gold medaled. But yeah, oh man, the only problem she has though is fighting at the lightweight division. Yeah, that's the problem.
But that's a no weight cut. She's got to be able to cut weight.
Dana White is licking his fucking chops right now. Him and Cepho have a great working relationship.
Oh, they have a great working relationship. 100%.
Kayla Harrison is about to make her name in PFL, and she's about to fight Cyborg. Dana and Ray. Dana and Ray are already talking about this.
Get her to 5-0, 6-0. Let's push her. Yeah. Let's get her active. Let's get her to 45. But you got to get her something more than some cans.
Dude, I wouldn't be surprised if they do a co-promote. If Dana White actually allows a co-promotion on this one.
He'll never allow that to happen.
No, he's always said it. But if she's under contract with PFL, him and Cepho's relationship, he might. You never know. Or at least not. Okay, so it might not be UFC and PFL presents, but they might announce her as the number one
PFL.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
they will announce that because they did that for Gaethje, former WSOF lightweight champ. Well, because the WSOF isn't there and he is now a UFC fighter, but they might say something because like Invicta, they can go back and forth if they cut him or whatever.
Yeah,
they might say current PFL,
which is super cool. They need to do more of that shit. They need to, which is super cool. 100%. To the former WSOF lightweight champion, that shit's cool. That's what they need to do.
That builds that
acknowledge
person.
Bellator. MMA fans are watching Bellator. They're watching that shit. Right. Acknowledge it. Because the casual fan don't know shit.
When Shorty fought, I don't remember. Did they introduce him as the champ?
No, they didn't.
Former.
They should have. They should have. Considering
that would have been great.
Considering he has a working relationship with Titan FC, they probably should have. That would have been cool because it would have. But unfortunately, it was a short notice fight, and it was the first fight on the prelims.
Yeah,
maybe when he gets like the main card or something. Yeah.
Well, it would have been nice to have been like former simultaneous 2-division champ or something.
I agree.
Something like that. The man deserves the credit, but
yeah. But I mean, back to talking about Christina Williams. She took Kayla Harrison can't wait to see her fight again. But Christina Williams took it to Heather Hardy. Absolutely took it to her.
Shit out of Heather Hardy.
Oh my God, dude, that was like I almost felt like claiming like domestic abuse on that fight, even though she's another.
I felt bad for Heather, man. I felt really bad for her. She got beat like beat up.
I don't feel bad for her because if anybody wants to go check out the great Kobe's Corner on YouTube, he gives a great breakdown of why Heather Hardy is a bitch. In the sense
I don't know
personally. Yeah, check it out. No, not personally, just professionally. The way she tried to blame What was the fight she had recently where she it was boring? It was all grappling. She tried to blame it on her opponent. I think it wasn't Williams. It was the other one because Williams beat the brakes off of her.
Yeah, that was all stand up.
Yeah, so it was nothing but clinch and boring fighting, and I don't remember who it is. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna let everybody know Google because I'm gonna be stupid about it. I can't remember. But what happened was it was a boring fight. It was Heather Hardy's last fight. Anna Jolton. Yeah, Jolton. Yeah, and Heather Hardy blamed all the boringness of the fight on her opponent, even though Hardy was the one that initiated all the clinches. So, yeah, he kind of does a great breakdown. Yeah. So everybody check it out. Keith, okay. Interviewed Heather Hardy cool twice. She's cool. I'm sure she is. I'm going off of this breakdown and kind of the interaction that I saw, man. So
it seems like maybe more of an excuse-making thing than anything else.
It could be. Maybe she was just trying to pass the blame. I don't like that she was passing the blame on the opponent when it was her initiating the clinch. The fight, Keith was live for that. They're live. He said the fight was terrible.
Yeah, it was.
and that's my point. That Heather Hardy was blaming it on Anna Jolton. So I mean,
she was initiating the clinch. Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, you know what? Opening up the main card of this Bellator is the fight I'm very looking forward to because this man is local. Hesperia. High Desert. Juan the Spaniard Archuleta. 18-1.
Juan Archuleta!
Yeah, dude. Trains with our boy, TJ Dillashaw. This is a pro Dillashaw podcast, so everybody knows. His only loss is a fight in World Series of Fighting, but he's a beast at featherweight, dude. He's one of the best in the entire world. Seriously, one of the best in the entire world. And he's 30 years old, dude, so he should have been in the UFC by now because his talents speak for themselves. And I'm surprised it took so long for Bellator to even come calling. This guy is a multi-divisional champion in King of the Cage.
Yep.
Just like Alex Reyes was. And the fact that Bellator, let alone UFC, saw nothing in him for the longest time and barely signed him, this is going to be his second fight in Bellator, is an insult to this man's skills because he's about to go up against Robbie Peralta, former UFC fighter, and he's going to blow his fucking brakes off.
The brakes off of him, dude. I don't see it getting out the first round. Archuleta's just going to piece him up anywhere he wants to.
Yeah.
You want to clinch? I'll out clinch you. You want to try to grapple me? I'll out grapple you. But chances are we're going to stay on the feet and I'm going to knock your fucking teeth in.
Yeah, Juan Archuleta, man. I mean, you've heard me on the show talking about, the Reyes brothers, Dominic and Alex, two of the best fighters in the entire high desert. I mean, Archuleta's right up there, dude. This dude is right there. I mean, if you're gonna talk about like featherweight division, this man is going to make mincemeat at Robbie Peralta, and I'm going to be there live, and I can't wait to see this happen, man. I can't wait.
Don't be too biased.
Well, I'm going to be biased with my rooting, but I'm not going to show it when I'm in the media. But I do think Juan Archuleta is he's past prospect status. He really is. I think his talent speaks for himself, man. I don't know what else to talk about this, man. This dude's fucking
there's got to be something behind the scenes, like he's difficult to work with or something that he didn't get picked up for so long. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. He's been running the King of the Cage scene for fucking 3 years now, 2 years now.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, shit happens, and Bellator finally picked him up. He took on William Joplin in his debut fight, dominant decision victory. Now he's back. He's fighting close to home. It should be interesting to see. I mean, I know a lot of people out there saying that Robbie Peralta is going to give him trouble. I honestly don't see it. Just talent-wise, I don't see it. Especially since he's been training with like the Cub Swanson, T.J. Dillashaw's, Dwayne Ludwig up there. They've been. I mean, he trains a shorty too, man.
Training lab, training lab out here
that's right.
in California.
So I think the Spaniard makes it 19-1, and I think he gets the show off with the main fight off with a bang. So we'll see what happens.
I do too. I see a finish in the future.
We'll see what happens, man. But is there anything you want to get off your chest? Anything you want to talk about? Anything in MMA you got going that you saw that I might have missed? I mean, we saw Josh Koscheck retired as well today.
Yeah, that was fucking like 10 years overdue. Also, the retirement of Johnny Hendricks.
Fuck, there we go. That's right, dude. I missed that. I forgot about it. 3 people 3 people within the span of like 48 hours retiring. Well, let's talk about Hendricks real quick. I mean, do you think it was a thing about USADA, or do you think it was just motivation after he lost the title to Lawler?
It's tough to say, man. I don't want to accuse anyone who's never tested positive or had an inkling of anything. I just think because he'd been wrestling his whole life, the weight cut, the dieting, the discipline, and
he liked to eat.
Maybe even CTE, because they say that messes with your impulse control, and that's why he was eating too much and doing shit. I don't know. I'm going to look at him for what he did up until he lost that fight. He was one of the greatest welterweights to fucking walk in that cage, one of the hardest hitting motherfuckers out there.
He was
like,
so
that guy
good, dude. He was so good. So yeah, I personally think it's motivation, because the reason why is because he got that fight with GSP. He worked his way up. He was knocking out everybody, or at least beating everybody, all the top guys. He finally got that welterweight title shot. Mm-hmm. He loses a very close decision that
arguably won that fight.
That he arguably won. And I was actually expecting him to be read as the winner. He GSP retires afterwards. He fights Robbie Lawler, wins the title in a very close fight that he managed to pull it out in the end in the 5th round.
Yep.
It's whatever. Then he has the rematch. He gets injured. Robbie Lawler goes on to fight Matt Brown, in a title eliminator contest. No, he fought Ellenberger. Then he fought Matt Brown.
Yes.
In a title eliminator. That was when Matt Brown was on his 7 or 8 fight win streak. I was actually kind of sentimentally rooting for Matt Brown. I thought somebody like that, getting a journeyman like that, getting a title shot would have been awesome. Then he loses the title to Robbie Lawler in a fight that he did not lose. I'm sorry. Johnny Hendricks won that fight. That is one of the worst decisions.
Scored it that way.
That was one of the worst decisions I've seen. I think we talk about robbery getting thrown around. Johnny Hendricks was robbed in that fight. Absolutely robbed. And you know me, I don't throw that around loosely, but he was robbed. And after that, it seemed like the motivation just wasn't there after that. To me, at least. So,
and he kept missing weight and went up to 85, missed weight in his last fight at 85. Mm-hmm. That's tough.
What was his last fight? Was it Costa? It wasn't Costa. It was Costa. Costa beat the fuck out of him. That dude's fighting Uriah Hall, and I think next week, and he's gonna destroy Uriah Hall.
I think he runs through him. I think Dana White's trying to set up Uriah Hall for his walking papers.
Well, he's trying to set up Paulo Costa to be a star. I mean, it's a good-looking dude that knocks people out. So
yeah.
I mean,
I'm straight as all get out, dude. But that boy,
that's a sexy
Brazilian.
Brazilian.
He's got a couple muscles on him.
Yeah, I'm straight as hell, but that's a sexy Brazilian right there. But yeah, no, I mean, so yeah, hey, Hendricks retires. Well wishes to him, man. I hope did his restaurant close, or has he still got it?
I believe it closed. He's going to focus on coaching wrestling and like the state team or something like that.
That's badass. I hope he does well there. That's badass. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Hats off to him. Thank you for everything you did, sir. Appreciate your career very much.
Yeah. Anything else any other news that I may have missed? Did you see anything that struck your fancy on this? We can pause for a minute while I sit here like this. Just freeze frame.
No, I'm just trying to think of everything. That was the last thing that I remember on my mind that I was concerned about that we haven't touched base on. Like, why the fuck Kenta's not fighting? That one nobody knows. I'd like to know. But
he's selling houses now. He doesn't have to fight. He's selling houses, making money that way. Fuck it.
That's fine, but he still wants to fight. He says he loves to fight, and I believe it based upon the way he fights. He loves to fight. So why did he pull out last minute?
He's underrated.
Yeah, he's a good, fun fighter.
Well, because they're switching back to the afternoon weigh-ins. That's why. He said he won't ever weigh in afternoon again.
Oh, okay.
So I'm pretty sure he's done. Like in that sense.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to fight. He's got the real estate business. He's doing great. Yeah, he doesn't want to weigh in the afternoon. He's done. So more power to him.
So Perry,
it's nice when
Mike Perry's fighting Felder now, right?
That's the rumor, and I'm stoked. Oh my god, that's gonna be awesome.
That's a good fight.
That's good. That's gonna be a great fight. At least Felder's not coming in on fucking 4 days' notice like Reyes. So we'll see.
No, but he's also fighting a heavy-handed brawler that's bigger.
I think Perry does win that fight just because of size difference. I mean, at the power difference, size difference. I mean, they're two very similar fighters. So you got to go with the bigger and the more powerful guy, and that's the bottom line for me.
But the thing, I agree, but Perry isn't known for his fight IQ as where Paul Felder is.
That's
so
true.
does
That's
Paul
true.
Felder get inside on him and grapple the guy? Grappling usually favors the bigger guy. Hence the reason all the fucking weight cutting in wrestling, right?
Yeah,
Typically
for
favors
sure.
the bigger guy. But does he get inside? Does he dirty box him? Does he not allow to say anything? I don't know. It's intriguing. It's intriguing. Just the size difference is what's really intriguing about it. So
For sure. Yeah, it's a great fight.
good.
I think it's great. I think it's good. So we got some good fights coming up. So we don't have a UFC fight this weekend though. So that we don't have
We do not.
that we do not have that to preview. But next Thursday is a super jam-packed show. Not only are we going to review the Bellator 201 card coming from tomorrow night in Pachanga.
This guy watched live and in person from Press Row. Everyone, he's got a real press credential.
I sent you that picture of my new layout. I'm above you now.
Oh,
And you're below. Yeah, so when you're playing, you'll see how stupid you look on the broad when you watch it back live.
Always.
You probably will see it when you see it live. Anyways, yeah. So we got that. We're gonna review that on the next episode, and I'm gonna give a first-hand account of being there live. Check out our Facebook page when I go live during the fight, stuff like that. I might, they say no video, but I might go live like backstage. I'm also gonna do that for MMATakeover.com. They gave me access to their Facebook page to hook me up. Since I'm there for them, but I'm also going to do it on the show's Facebook page. Keith, I hope that's okay, man, because I'm going to do it anyways.
Jeez, what a dick.
Hey, no, I already told him. I was like, I'm going to represent MMA in the Max as well. So, yeah, anyways, and then we're also going to be previewing the Ultimate Fighter finale next Friday night, as well as the super stacked UFC 226, Cormier, Stipe, Holloway, Ortega. Can't fucking wait. Unfortunately, I can't watch the fights live. I can watch the Ultimate Fighter finale live, but the pay-per-view I gotta watch, the next day. So
I'll text you the results as they happen.
you better fucking not. It's bad enough. It's bad enough. I gotta avoid all the internet, dude, while I'm at work that Sunday and all that before I get home. Jesus. Want to give a quick shout out real quick to my good friend Nick Hilton for hooking me up with the fights after they're done, so I can watch them, not have to worry about paying that $60. Yeah, I'm putting that out there, but there's no point in watching them. I'm not watching them live because they usually get spoiled for me beforehand. It's fucking hard.
It is. It's difficult.
Yeah. Anyways, Joe, you got social media. You've been a pretty good presence on it lately. A little more, at least on Instagram, not so much on Twitter.
I'm trying. Yeah, I'm trying to do a little bit of both.
Yeah, throw it out there.
If you want to reach me on Twitter, you can get a hold of me at JoeHud45 on Twitter, JoeHud45. If you would like to reach me on Instagram, it is at MMA to the Max Joe. And as always, the 2 is the number 2. What you got, Rob?
Well, what I got is I got a Twitter as well, and that Twitter handle is at It's Rock Robster. No apostrophe because they don't allow it on the handles. I also have an Instagram at MMA to the Max Rob, and as always, that too is the number 2, like the Ghostbusters. Find the show on Twitter at MMA to the Max Show. I will be live tweeting from that Twitter feed during Bellator event tomorrow, as long as I remember to while I'm recapping the show on my laptop. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/MMA to the Max podcast. You'll find all sorts of news, commentary, opinions, as well as the links for these shows, these live shows. Remember to support our sponsors at Loot Crate and Gamefly. Remember, that is www.trylootcrate.com/MMA to the Max podcast. Use the promo code BRIDGE10, 10% savings on any new Loot Crate subscription. That's also www.gameflyoffer.com/MMA to the Max for a free 30-day trial with one game out at a time of MMA to the Max. Seriously, I can't stress this enough. You can get like at least 4 games finished in that time. So, that's for free. Find us on our parent website of W2Mnet.com. That is W2Mnet.com, where you can find all your needs for sports, video games, movies, and entertainment. The great Sean Garmer is the one that hooked us up with this shit, and we've been running with it ever since.
Sprinting, son.
Yeah, definitely check it out, guys. Check them out on the Facebook as well as W2Mnet on Facebook. Follow them, check it out. I do want to give one more special shout out to the MMAtakeover.com. The great Keith Schillen runs that website. That is a great MMA website. It's actually one of the best ones, and I'm not saying that because they hooked me up, but I'm saying it because unlike MMA Fighting and Bloody Elbow and MMA Junkie and all these other sites, these are people that are still fans of the sport.
Yeah,
they're not being
that's a good point.
paid. They're not making money. They're doing this for free. They're doing this because they're fans and they love covering the sport. And I'm going to be covering the sport for them at Bellator tomorrow. Hopefully it's the first of many, and we'll see what happens, man. Maybe one day Joe and I will get to an event and we will cover it together and do a podcast live.
Ooh, that would be fun.
Maybe we get Keith's ass
really
out
cool.
here to the West Coast for it. Get him on the show.
Yeah.
I want to get that man on the show. Maybe next Thursday I'll get Keith on. That'd be cool. We can talk about Bellator and we can preview it. So I'll talk to him and see what's up. Yeah, no, I got to give a lot of love to Keith Schillen, man. He's been good to me and he's been good to the show. So
I am dead to him now, but it was nice knowing you before I died, sir.
yeah, he's been good to the show, man. I have nothing bad to say about Keith except for he's a vicious troll. But
Yeah. Well,
anyways,
not necessarily
that's
a
it.
bad thing.
We got everything. We're good. You good? We're good. Yeah,
I'm
everything
good.
cool. All right. Hey, you know what, guys?
Cool.
This has been MMA in the Max, episode number 46. I've been Robert Taylor. Thank you for joining us. For Joe Hudson, I probably fucked that up a little bit. Anyways, either way, whatever. For Joseph Hudson, a.k.a. Riverside Joe, I am your host, Robert Taylor. This has been MMA in the Max. We will see you next week. Take care.
See ya.
The previous podcast has been an original W2Mnet.com production. For more great content like this, go to W2Mnet.com for the worlds of wrestling, video games, entertainment, and sports.